All right, so you might be asking yourself, why is this number important right here on this block and those two letters? Well, that's what we're going to go over here today. Hey, welcome back. My name is John. This is the Judge. And what we're going to get into today is, you saw there, what is that number on the front of the engine block? Well, that is the number that is assigned to this engine block when it was assembled to whatever car it might have been. That is actually the last bits of the VIN. When someone says this is my numbers matching block, that's what they're referring to. The last 6 of that number I just showed you will match the VIN number on the dash if it is in fact the original block. So that's what I want to show you. That's when someone says numbers matching drivetrain. That means the block VIN matches the last 6 of the VIN on the dash. And same as the transmission. I'll show you where it's at too. The transmission will be stamped with the same stamping. That way you can say my engine and transmission are original to this car. That was why they identified the cars back in the day for theft. Or even some states, that was the VIN number. The one on the dash wasn't valid. It was the one on the block. So good luck when you blow your engine up, right? So I wanted to show you where that was at. Some people would ask, it's not the number up on top of it. Not these numbers right here below the cylinder head. That number there has something to do with production or sequence or something along those lines. So that one really doesn't mean a whole lot. So when someone says, my VIN doesn't match this number, of course not. It's not the right one. It's down here below the water pump. And this 2 little designation here, this is going to tell you the actual configuration of the engine. Now, a YZ, if you all know your homework and do what you're doing, you'll know that's a Ram Air block. So that's kind of cool. Still essentially the exact same 400 block used for 1969, but that little stamp makes all the magic when you got something like a Ram Air 3 car. Like I said, now if you were to actually take a look at the VIN number here, you'll see that it ends in 36333. Just the same as the engine number from previous, it matches the same. So that is our numbers matching original 1969 YZ block for this car here, which is great news. Now, if it was a Muncie 4-speed, they also stamped the transmissions. Now, this is not original to this car because it was originally an automatic, but here's your gearbox, Muncie 4-speed, input shaft in, of course, our shifter. Right here, this is out of a 1969 Firebird. I happen to know that's where I got it from. I don't have the car, but that's where this car came from. That's the transmission stamping right here. So that's where it would be at on a manual trans. Then on a Slush-O-Matic, Turbo 400 is here on the driver's side. I'll get the car lifted up here and I'll show you where that's at. Now again, Turbo 400 transmission, if you want to see where it's at, there's our transmission pan. Shift linkage comes in here on the side. There's the number in the transmission case. Now, unfortunately, this one doesn't match my VIN. So I do not have the original transmission for this car, so maybe I should change it over to that 4-speed. What do you guys think? So now you got an idea where those numbers are. That's your VIN number. That's your identification. That's where those things are in case you want to identify something that might be special, like a GTO Judge or Trans Am, 400 Ram Air car even. You want to check those things out? That's where that information is found as for the VIN matching. Now, there's other things like the cylinder head numbers. Those are important. There's some debate, but for the most part, I feel it to be true. Ram Air 3 Judges with automatics had number 48 cylinder heads. And what that means here, I'll show you right here on these. Someone's referring to the cylinder head number. It's numbers here on the center exhaust port, 48. Now, you've also got your casting date. These are K308. So these are cast and late of 68. So this would make sense on an early production GTO Judge would have ones made the prior year. This is an important thing here. This is going to tell you a lot about the casting of the head. So if everyone says I got 48s, I have 46s, I have 6X, this is where you need to look at. And how to translate that. So maybe you don't have 48 heads, you got some 62s or 16s. Still great heads, but how do you look up the value or maybe what the configuration was? Racing and Butler Performance both have a great website. You can actually look up the cylinder head numbers and it'll give you a valve size, sometimes a CC rating. So you can kind of plan your engine build. So you can take some maybe mid-70s 400 heads and throw them on a 455 and make a really good running car. So that's where I get my information. So I'll maybe somehow do a link Check this out. Type in Pontiac engine codes in your search. Go ahead and hit enter, and it should pop up. It's like Pontiac engine codes. Bam, right there. Wallace Racing. I love this site. It actually gives a lot of history about the Pontiac engines and a lot of neat things maybe you don't know or maybe you did. But you keep scrolling down here, you'll find the engine codes. Check us out. Engine size, horsepower rating, and you'll see the 2-letter designation to the right. We'll scroll down to 69, and we're going to look for YZ. As you can tell, there's many 400s, many 2-letter designation, but bold print means manual. Fine print is auto. So you'll see YZ here. Look at this. I got a couple options. But nonetheless, that's the 340 horsepower, I'm pretty sure. Sorry, 366 horsepower Ram Air 3 engine. So you can see that right here. That's what I use to find my engine codes. And you do the same thing here with the Pontiac cylinder. Just type out Pontiac cylinder head chart. You see Butler or Wallace Racing. Go ahead and hit Wallace Racing. Is one I use the most probably. And same thing, scroll down, cool information, history of Pontiac heads, where the ID numbers are at and whatnot. But you want to keep scrolling down. You'll see the second column will basically be all your cylinder head numbers, 62, 48, whatever they might be. I mean, third column, sorry. But you'll see here, we'll get the 69. You'll find the 46, 48, 45. Well, these are 48 heads. They'll tell you the valve size and everything. So this chart is super helpful, just the same to use. They'll have all, that's where I get my information from. I don't have to memorize all this stuff. I just jump on the interweb and look it up. And then even on the cylinder blocks, there's a part number on the back of it here. Okay, now this is our passenger side cylinder head. If you look down here, you'll see a part number 9790007 whatever, I think 7. That is the block casting number. Again, that number shows up on the coffin. Again, this is information that's super beneficial. So you open a garage door, you guys got a bunch of engine blocks on the floor. A lot of times the 400 or the 350, 455 are cast in the side of it after 1969. Prior to that, the blocks have no markings at all, but you can take that casting number, type it in there, check it out, and it'll tell you what that block was. It'll give you the year it was used and the displacement size. So I want to share that with you. It's a quick little video. Don't have a whole lot that I can do with this right now in the middle of obviously going to start packing for a potential move. So we're going to be moving all this chaos and going to a new place and a new adventure. So I figured some people had asked about that. It was time to do this video, and I had some time, and it's kind of nice out today, so get some fresh air here in the garage. And also, this is Wednesday's video. Friday, may not have an actual video playing with this stuff, but check us out here on Arrowhead Garage. That's my friend Brian Minson out there in Arizona. Myself, Louie, and Brian are going to do a video. We do live chat. Bring your questions. Hang out with us. Make your comments, or tell us that we're a bunch of idiots. I don't know. We're just going to talk shop. We're going to talk Firebirds. And the topic this way is how to buy one of these classic cars without getting ripped off, essentially. Like I found this car here. I guess technically it found me. Did a little research, kind of find out it was definitely worth buying. You don't always win like that, but you don't want to pay the top price for a car that's supposed to be a real Judge. Kind of find out it was just a Le Mans. Or let's say, yeah, looking at this car here, well, it's a Trans Am, right? Nope. How do you identify that? What are you looking at for? If you were looking for maybe a rare car, or let's just say you don't care about the rarity, you're just looking for a good driver, a good project. We're going to tell you where to look for the rust, the collision, the damage, most common areas that are expensive possibly to repair. That's what our topic is going to be. So if you like, check that out, hang out with us there. I'm going to try to put a link here in the video, and I hope to visit you all then. It'll be 7:30 Indiana time, all the way to the East Coast, and somewhere in Arizona, I think it's only 5:30. They're a little bit behind. They're a little slow out there in Arizona. Right, Brian? Anyway, nonetheless, thank you for following me on the journey of these old cars. I promise whenever I get my feet landed where we're going to be, I will keep doing some videos or do what I can in the meantime and keep sharing the information with you. And I appreciate you all following me on the journey just the same. And we'll catch you all next time.